Hi, beautiful humans, and welcome to the very first episode of Gains and Grace, the podcast for the women behind the weights, the ones holding the fort while their partners lift heavy, bulk harder, and go through cycles no one really talks about. I'm your host, Carrie, and I'm so glad that you're here. If you're someone that's ever found themselves Googling storage cycle side effects at 2 a.m., crying quietly after another mood swing you didn't cause, or just wondering, is it normal to feel so alone in this? Then this podcast is for you because I see you. I am you. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am 44 years old. I have two girls, and I'm in a relationship with a man who is deeply passionate about bodybuilding, gymming, eating right, healthy. He is so disciplined, dedicated, and honestly puts me to shame. But I am on my own little journey at the moment, alongside his. But it obviously didn't always start this way. We're just two people in love, and then came the weights, the steroids, the bulking, the test, the mood changes, and the new reality that no one actually prepared me for. I found myself in a place where his goals became part of my daily life. I was helping with meal prepping, planning around gym schedules, managing emotional highs and lows that didn't feel like him. And yet there was nowhere to turn to, no community, no guidebook, just me and Google and a whole lot of tears, confusion, and guilt for feeling like I wasn't being supported enough. And the truth is, loving a lifter, especially one on steroids, has its own journey. It takes a kind of strength that no one sees. And I wanted to give that strength a voice. Why I started this podcast was born out of a moment where I realized I can't be the only one that's on this journey. There has to be other women, other partners sitting with these same feelings, trying to show up with love and patience while managing our own emotional whiplash. I created Gains in Grace because I needed a space like this, a place where I can talk about the messy middle, the good days, the hard days, the days where we feel like a cheerleader and a therapist all in one. Maybe I need a therapist. The days we celebrate his progress and the days that we question everything from is he on the right vitamins? How do we get him to sleep better? Um, is he eating enough carbs? Enough protein? What exercises are we going to do next? Because even though it is a very I type of journey that he's on, it is still definitely an us because we're doing it together. I wanted to build a community, a space for real talk without judgment, a space where we could laugh, cry, vent, and feel seen. So, what you can kind of expect from Gains and Grace is we're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about the mood swing that no one warns you about, the emotional labor of supporting someone in a steroid cycle, meal prepping, sleep schedule, libido changes, communication breakdowns, the impact on intimacy, trust, our own mental health, which is so important, and that love that keeps us hanging in there. We're going to talk about vitamins. Where's the best places to buy this and that? What do we surprise them on their birthdays? Things like that. We're not here to bash any bodybuilding or any steroids. We're here to talk about it, what it really means to love someone chasing extreme goals, and how to love ourselves through it all. There's going to be some solo episodes like this one. There's going to be some deep dive topics, eventually stories from other women walking this path, expert guests, and maybe even some hard but healing conversations with men themselves. I am definitely getting my man on here because he's a smarty pants. And yeah, sometimes he has to put me right a little bit. So each week, I'll bring you a new episode that meets you where you are. Whether you're prepping chicken and rice for the 10th time this week, waiting out another emotional breakdown of highs and lows, or just needing someone who gets it, this is your space. You'll leave each episode feeling a little bit more empowered, a little less alone, and a lot more supported because this podcast is for us. So if today's episode spoke to you, please follow the podcast, share it with other women who might need to hear this, and come find me on Instagram or TikTok at Gains and Grace. I would love to hear your story. There can be questions, that we can try and find answers to. This is only the beginning, and I'm so honored to have you on this journey with me. And just remember, behind every strong lifter is an even strong partner. So, with love and grace, I will spot you later. Bye.